Hey guys, we're here at a Panasonic booth, checking out the new Panasonic Kairos system. Well, not really super new. It's been around for a little bit, right?
New enough, yeah.
Yeah, new enough.
Yep.
But it's kind of like a revolutionary platform that they introduced for video switching and a lot of features, a lot of things that could be really helpful for the worship market. And I have Bob here. He's one of the experts in the area. Phenomenal guy, knows his stuff. He's going to give us a quick intro on the basic features that would be probably the most awesome for the church market.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No problem.
So what we've got here today that we're showing is Kairos. And what Kairos is it's a video switcher, a video processor, and a playback server all built into a single box, right? So that's super important, right? We're not having a bunch of GAC and not a bunch of equipment that we're dealing with. It's a single format that we can deal with. And what's really great about it is not only do we come over here and we can see the video switching platform, right? It looks very similar to what we've seen before, mixing and matching what it is that we're doing. But what's a little bit different about Kairos is it's not based on hardware architecture. Now we're working with GPU and CPU, and what that allows us to do is harness the power of computing power, right? We're not being told anymore about what the size of the boxes need to be, what we can put in them, what the frame rates need to be. Now we can mix and match frame rates, anything like that we want to on the input and the output side, which allows us to be as creative as possible, right? One's if I want to bring in something from an iPhone, I want to bring in something from a computer, two different aspect ratios, but I want them both to be integrated in the same thing that I'm doing. Kairos allows us to unlock the potential in it. What you'll also notice here inside of Kairos, so we have a customizable interface for our multi-viewing, right? That's really important. How do I want to see my images? How do I want to look at something? Traditionally, it's only 16:9, but what you'll see here is we're actually showing a 48:9 canvas that allows us to stretch those out over projectors or over LED walls. And when we actually come back over here and we look at what we're able to do on the output side, Kairos can take single outputs and cascade them across multiple monitors or projectors or whatever it is that we're looking to use, which is quite impressive if you ask me. What else is super important about Kairos is when we actually look at the way that we're in here and we're actually building scenes, and what you'll notice is it looks very familiar, kind of like a layering or a Photoshop type environment. And that's what really makes Kairos different, right? Normally you're told that, my boxes have to be this way. I can only have so many keys. I can only have so many layers. What's really great about Kairos is we just can continually add upon layers and keys. You no longer have to ask the questions of how many MEs does my switcher need to be, how many layers and how many keys. We're actually using the software to define all that. And truly the only thing that we really care about is how much of the computing power are we actually using at that particular point in time. And that's where we're looking here at our GPU meter and it says, hey, we're using 85% of all the processes that we're doing today. We can continue to push the envelope on what it is that we want to do.
Cool. So Bob, you can say, I'm going to join in real quick. So a couple of things that are really cool that I noticed that was unintended results of the platform is this kind of not only substitute a video switcher and what the applications of the video switcher does, which is, multi-camera switching, graphics and things like that, but it also introduced the ability for you to control what the graphics are, the signal that's going to your LED wall, even if you have really multiple shapes and weird shapes and multiple pictures and what's feeding those pictures, all because of that layer-based platform that you have, you can kind of do anything you want for any of those scenarios.
Yep. And
kind of take a place of very expensive pieces of gear that need to be installed to accomplish all that, right? And to add even more to the system, one of the biggest things that plagues the church market is how many little converters you have to have for all your different cameras and all your different graphics and everything you have to do.
Yep.
Well, Kairos takes any input of any frame rate and automatically converts inside of it. So the days of 20 decimators to make something work are kind of gone when you go into something like this. So there's a multiple levels of benefits that I felt like the platform added. And the value just kind of exploded because of that. And then we didn't even talk about, clip players and, graphics built into the unit. You can have all that as well. So in the
macro functionality, to be able to, build out automations for what it is that you're trying to do for your opens or closes or whatever it is that you want to. You make an excellent point because think about, traditional broadcast, systems. There's racks full of glue, right? Converters and DAs and all this kind of stuff. The nice thing about what it is that we're doing now is we're just working natively with what it is that we want to do. And if something comes into us as a 720p source, but we really need to up-res it to 1080, 24, we can do that inside of Kairos. We don't need a converter to go do it. We can do it natively inside. And the other thing that I think we should also touch on, which is very important, is the ability to add Luts. into
Yeah.
Kairos, right? We all know that cinema style look is really important, right? We love the way that it looks, but sometimes it can be hard to mix and match both studio cameras as well as cinema look, right? So we want to try to figure out how can we best convey that look, that energy that we're trying to get out. The cool thing about Kairos is we can add Lut Correction on the inputs, but what's even cooler is what about if we want to add Lut Correction on the outputs, right? We have a specific look that we want, hey, just one output needs to have a Lut Correction, but our other ones don't. The Kairos allows that flexibility for you to really choose how you want to creatively show what it is you guys are doing.
You can be very creative with that scenario. Even if you want to, things like a special look for a specific song.
Correct.
You can activate a LUT on the output. So all of a sudden your LED wall has a completely different look. Or even just your broadcast output.
Correct.
So, and you can decide all that macro based.
Absolutely.
I mean, like I said, there's so much that this system can do. That brings it all together in the same platform.
Correct.
Make it a lot easier for the operator to manage it. Make it a lot easier for the system to be designed.
Yes.
So I feel like for us, it was a revolutionary platform that we can offer. To the churches. The church market should dive into this.
I agree.
Really, really strongly because of how much it can do.
Correct.
So if you are interested and intrigued by any of this, definitely contact us so we can schedule a demo or even a call. They actually are providing virtual demos where they show a fully built studio built around Kairos that they can control everything. We can schedule on-site demos if that's necessary. But contact us so we can reach out, and Bob can help us set all that up as well. And we'll help you guys figure out if this is a great solution for what your needs are.
Yeah, and I can't tell you guys enough how great it is to work with AVNew. They understand the product, they understand the application, which is really important. You want to make sure that you guys team up with somebody that truly understands what it is that Kairos can do on the creative side. So please reach out to Gil and his team. They've done an excellent job with the installs that we've already done with them. So please continue to do that.
Appreciate it, guys.